I'm Samantha Mabe, website designer and founder of Lemon and the Sea, and this is Elevate Your Practice. If you're a holistic health practitioner ready to grow your practice without wasting time on things that don't work, you're in the right place. Each week, I share website, SEO, and marketing advice along with guest experts so you can bring in the right clients and feel confident about how you are showing up and serving the people that you help. Let's get started. Think about the last time you landed on a website and couldn't figure out what the person actually did. Did you stick around? Probably not. Your potential clients are the same way. If your website doesn't answer their key questions right away, they'll click off and find someone else. In today's episode, I'm sharing the top questions every wellness website needs to answer so your visitors feel confident taking the next step with you in order to book more clients and patients into your practice. Question number 1, where are you located and how do you work with people? This one seems obvious, but it's often missing. Do you offer services in person, online, or both? Which city or region do you serve? If you're virtual, don't just say online, spell it out. For example, you can use therapy in Virginia and Alaska with online sessions available. If you see people in person, think about not only the exact town your address is in, but also where people tend to drive in from so that you can make sure you're hitting that broader region. When people land on your site, they want to know right away if you're even an option for them. And this is even more important if they're finding you through search when they have typed in a term like chiropractor or therapist or acupuncturist near me or in a specific city. When they land on your website, the information there should back up the information that they found on Google. Question number 2, who do you work with and who don't you? Being specific here saves everybody time. Saying I help people with health challenges or revitalize your life is really vague. Instead, you want to say something like, I work with women in midlife who are experiencing hormonal changes, or I work with parents of ADHD kids. Don't be afraid to clarify who you don't serve. For example, a therapist might say, I work with adults and couples, but I don't offer counseling for children or teens. You want to make sure it's very clear who you do work with so that people can see that you understand who they are and that if they fit in those buckets. But you also want to clarify if there are people that you're not qualified to work with or you don't feel comfortable serving so that those people can make sure they aren't reaching out and taking up your time or getting a bad experience if you feel like you want to serve everyone who comes your way. This level of clarity builds trust and helps your ideal client recognize themselves on your website and then makes it easier for them to book because they know that they fit into what it is that you do and what you're best at. Question number 3, what services do you offer? This isn't just about listing modalities, although I know that's tempting. It's about explaining what you actually do for clients. For example, nutrition counseling might not mean much on its own, but if you say something like one-on-one nutrition counseling sessions to help women in perimenopause manage digestive issues and balance hormones, you're telling people exactly what to expect, who you work with, and how you help them. While modalities can be something you list on your website, it's important to remember that a lot of people aren't looking for something specific. This does vary a little bit based on industry because EMDR might be popular on social media right now, and so it could be something someone is thinking about. But it isn't going to be the main thing that you are framing on your website. Really, what you're saying is who you work with and what it is you are helping them to do in your services. You want to make it easy to understand how you help solve the problems that your ideal client is facing. The other part of the services you offer is to make sure that it's clear what type of work you do with people. Is your practice all about one-on-one work? Is it group coaching? Do you have a specific program that you walk people through that's 6 months or 3 months or 6 weeks? Or do they have an evaluation and then you make a plan based on the individual? Do they need to sign up for some kind of ongoing service, or can they come in for a one-off appointment? These are things that don't need to take up a ton of room on your website, but you do want to make sure that people can get those questions answered. When I looked for a chiropractor recently, there were some that I could come in, have my initial evaluation and an adjustment, and then we would make a plan for me to continue getting care, but I wasn't locked into seeing them every week or every 2 weeks. But there are other chiropractors who do things differently, where they build everything into one package, where you come in for your evaluation and then you are coming in every week to see them for adjustments so that they can help you through a specific issue. It doesn't matter which way you've decided to set things up. You just want to make sure that it's clear to people what it's going to look like and what commitment you are asking of them. The fourth question you want to make sure you're answering is, what is your philosophy or approach? Before you start typing out paragraphs and paragraphs on your about page, I want you to take a breath and think about why we're sharing this information. Clients aren't just buying a service from you, they're choosing the way that you practice what you do. This is especially important for people in nutrition and therapy and holistic providers in general, because there is so much baggage and backstory and so much going on online that people want to make sure that your philosophy aligns with their beliefs and the way that they want to do things. I had a friend of mine talk to her doctor about wanting to make sure she was eating healthier and why she couldn't lose the last few pounds that she had put on during a stressful time in her life. And what she loved about the nutritionist her doctor sent her to was that it was not all about counting calories and making sure you're exercising more and making sure you're eating healthy. She knew all of that. She had done all of that. What she needed was somebody to help her in her specific time look at her actual diet and make a plan that felt doable for her life and for her family. You want to make sure that you're communicating what makes you different. How do you approach things, especially when it comes to very polarizing topics? Do you take a functional medicine approach? Do you focus on gentle, sustainable lifestyle shifts? Do you integrate body-mind practices? You want that to be clear so that nobody is surprised by the way that you do things, and you're bringing in the right people and letting the people who would be a better fit elsewhere go and find someone who could serve them well. Sharing your philosophy helps people self-select. It lets them think, yes, this is the kind of care I have been looking for. Question number 5, why should they trust you? This does not mean copying and pasting your CV onto your about page. Nobody wants a bullet point list of every certification you ever achieved and all of the articles that you have written. Instead, you want to weave those things into your story. Why you do this work, what you've seen in your years of practice. Client success stories can be really helpful here. It's about balancing credibility with connection. There's no problem with listing the places that you got educated or including the logo of those places on your website, but that's not why somebody's going to decide to work with you. Most people aren't going to know why this school is better than that school. They just want to know that you do have some kind of education and experience in this and why that matters to them. They want to feel like they're in safe and capable hands. The last question you want to make sure you answer is one of the most important. What's the next step? Don't leave people hanging. What should they do next? Are they going to book a free consultation? Do they need to call your office or fill out a form? Should they sign up for your email list because right now you're not accepting new patients? Every single page of your website needs to make that next step clear and simple. If somebody has to hunt for your contact page or they have to take 5 different steps in order to book an appointment, they're not going to do it. We want to make it super clear from the time that they land on your website what it is they should do when they're ready to work with you. If you're wondering what this looks like in practice, you're not alone. My number one recommendation for you is to look at the headline section of your homepage. When you land on that homepage, can somebody see what it is that you do, who you work with, where you're located, and what the next step are? You should be able to summarize that into a headline, subheadline, and button so that it's really clear to everybody if they are in the right place or not and what they should do if they are. Everything else can be put into the content of your website, and people are not afraid to dig around if they want to learn more. But we have to catch their attention and let them know that you get it and they are safe with you as soon as they land on your site. If your website doesn't make these things clear, you're likely losing clients before they ever reach out. And if you're not sure whether your website is hitting the mark, I'd love to help. My free website review gives you a short, personalized video where I walk through your site, sharing your screen with you, and point out exactly what you might tweak in order to get more people to the site, keep them there, and then turn them into clients or patients. You can grab that at lemonandthesea.com/review. Thanks for listening to Elevate Your Practice. If you enjoyed today's episode, follow the show and leave a review. It helps more practitioners find these tips and start growing their practices with confidence. And don't forget to check out the show notes for links and resources from today's episodes. I'll be back next week with more strategies to help you build a thriving practice.